Hey, John, is it true they used to make TV shows about cowboys?
Yeah, fellers, they made a lot of shows called westerns. There was Gunsmoke, The Rifleman, Rawhide, The Virginian, Wagon Train, Big Valley. Yeah, it was back in the golden age of TV.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
By far the best and most popular one was called Bonanza. It was about a man who was a widower and his 3 sons. Cartwheels, I think they were called. They even made an episode about horse racing.
No kidding. How'd that go?
Well, it seems the boys got into an argument about who should go into town for supplies and who should stay behind and clean the stables. Old Ben was fair and square and decided to have the boys draw straws.
All right, let's see. Just isn't our day, is it? Dadgummit of all the corn. Come on, Hoss.
Oh, youth must be served.
All got away well enough. Drifting out a little bit was Get Carter. From the far side, Charvet came away fast. It's Charvet in between runners, Cat Quick, and here comes Tate Me Down, and then down at the rail, Mr. Perry Cartel, Charvet, Cat Tate Me Down, Cat Quick, Charvet, Tate Me Down, Charvet from Tate Me Down.
Because he's a nice horse, I just told my boss to supplement, and he told me, "Are you sure for what you think?" I said, "Yes. I like the horse for the trials. If we're gonna have the chance, I think with that one we have the chance."
We thought we had a very good chance of qualifying with he or one of the other 3 that we had, and we decided to supplement him after his race in Oklahoma, where he ran 3rd in the Oklahoma Derby. He showed us something up there, and he was just now making his way, getting to where we thought he needed to be even before Oklahoma. So this was a surprise for him, not getting in the final, but breaking the record.
I trained for Joe Kirk Fulton, and he owns her, and we broke her from a baby. She was raised on the ranch, and we broke her, and we've trained her ever since. We were very pleased with her. We had her entered in Houston to give her an out for this year, and they scratched the races that night because of a thunderstorm, and she had not had a race since November the 10th, I believe. And for a 6-month layoff, she ran a really, really big race. We were very pleased with her. We've got a lot of hope for her later on in the year, also at the All-American Derby. She's not in the Rainbow, she's in the All-American. And with this race we got in her last week, we should be setting really good for the finals. She's really bounced back good and pumped a lot of air in her, and we're looking for a big race out of her.
I think he's won 3 out of 6 times. His one main claim to fame is he beat One Dashing Eagle in his very first out, and he's been a pretty nice horse, you know. I think obviously One Dashing Eagle wasn't the horse he is now, but anyhow, this horse, he's steadily improved, and I think he's going to get better as a 3-year-old. He's just been a little unlucky here and there, but I'm glad that horse drug us in, so we were able to participate in the finals. But you know, I think this mountain's going to produce just incredibly fast horses, and you're just going to get the best in the world.
And he was in the pasture basically when they brought him, and we started him about 3 months ago, and little by little he's coming around. He still needs about a month or 2 to get really ready. You know what I mean? He still got well, he needed the race real bad. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? He is his first race back, and he was a qualifier for the All-American Futurity last year, and I think. With this next race coming up, he's gonna run a lot better. He got a little tired on us in the trial, and but I think he's gonna have more than enough air for the final. So.
Well, after that, the boys decided to hire a stable boy to do the unpleasant chores, but they needed some money to hire somebody. Little Joe decided he'd bust broncs for money. Hoss tried his hand at gambling.
much did you lose, big brother?
Oh, he only lost exactly $160.
$160? Boy, you need a keeper.
Dad burn it, Adam, I felt lucky.
They're running. Off step slow, Martin Ray. Fast break for Pyro, and at the rail, both Sugar Daddy B and A Dream to Remember. A Dream to Remember, Sugar Daddy B. Pyro far side, first Alibi Snow. Pyro far side, trying to catch A Dream to Remember. A Dream to Remember, and Pyro. A Dream to Remember from Pyro, first Alibi Snow.
She's been a really good filly. Here last year, she showed us a lot of talent as a 2-year-old. Then she went on to Hobbs, won the Hobbs America Fraternity, and she's just been a really solid filly, and she's gotten better with age. This is her first out since November, so it's been about 6 months since she's had an out. So we're really pleased the way this filly came back and ran so strong, and we think she's going to be a really strong 3-year-old, and we're really pleased with her race. And she's a nice filly, and I think she needed the race, and she should come back well.
Dream to Remember has been a good horse since we bought her. She had a little tough luck early last year, but she just kept getting better. And we went down to Hobbs, and she scared the hell out of us. The last race, right after she went by the finish line, she fell, she went down, and we thought she was dead. For her to come back and run like she did today, we're extremely excited, and we think we're going to have one hell of a year with her.
I've had the horse actually raising for Kathleen Mady. We keep all of her yearlings at our farm. And I sent him out there last year to John Steinbow, and he won the Ruidoso Juvenile and qualified for the Rainbow, and then we had to do some cleanup for Third Valley, and we just brought him back for Ruidoso this year. I believe he's deserving to be in the finals, tail win, no win. He runs second to a nice filly. And he left good, and like I said, he ran an unexcusable race, and we're hoping he can repeat that Saturday.
Mr. Marquez of J&M Racing and Farm is the owner of that horse, and we bought him at the beginning of the year also, and got him ready for the trials in El Paso, but he kind of started tying up with Lasix and stuff, so we had to scratch him, and gave him some time off, and brought him back in fresh for the Derby trials here, and the horse ran third in his trial, and but he needed the race, you know what I mean? He hadn't run in a while, and he kind of needed the out, so.
I actually talked to Trey about bringing this horse up here, and they did, and we got him here, and he ran fourth in his trial heat, which he got blowed in. We got very fortunate, was in the right place at the right time. That particular race was really fast, and we got lucky, but that's part of it. The horse didn't do anything wrong. He run his race. He probably needed this race up here in this altitude, but we got lucky to be here, but we'll take it. Luck's a lot of it.
The boys got the wild ideal to pull their money and buy a racehorse to enter in a stakes race. They'd take the purse and get them a hired hand and no more chores.
Well, what brings you boys over here? You get lonesome for little Joseph?
We just got over it. No, we came over to talk about some business.
Yep. I'm afraid it wasn't the smartest thing we ever did, neither.
Well, now, what kind of business you boys in?
We bought ourselves a racehorse.
A racehorse?
A racehorse?
The tough part was their pa found out they'd bought a racehorse. He didn't much care for racehorses.
We bought a horse.
You bought a horse?
Yeah, Port.
It's a racehorse. Straight from Kentucky. How many times have I told you two that if an animal doesn't carry its own weight here, we don't need it?
They're running. Sudden Thoughts lost his path at the start. Out for the early lead is Where Love Began, along with I'll Stop the World. Sudden Thoughts dropped to the rail, and visiting the fans on the outside fence, One Bald Eagle. I'll Stop the World's in front. I'll Stop the World. One Bald Eagle from the far side. I'll Stop.
I'm going to promise you this is a horse that maybe as a 2-year-old didn't have his greatest of luck, but he's going to have good luck as a 3-year-old. And the distance keep running. You know, we step out every time. We went 400 now. We get to go 440 and 440. They're going to be in my world then and with this horse. So he's not going to mind another 40 yards, and he doesn't mind the 400 now. They're going to have their hands full. This is a good colt. He grabbed the quarter leaving there. He kind of bobbled off the rig, and I get a clean break. They'll have to earn it to beat him. He's a good horse, and you know, we're blessed to have him, like I said. And
Ben agreed to help him out. He then tells his boys that he has the power to make a horse do anything he wants just by talking to it. He explains that he's a horse whisperer, and that if he talks to the racehorse, they'll win the big race. The boys are pretty leery about it, but they agree.
Well, I guess the only way you can earn his board and keep is by entering him in that Virginia City race.
That's right. That's right. And that's what we're going to do, Paul.
Wicked Courage came away well, along with Solid and Nina Joe. They're fast in the stride to the far side. One quick Jess. And now here comes First Prize Moon, and down at the rail, Top Flight Ace is going to get involved, but Wicked Courage is going to take some beating. Wicked Courage in the outside, First Prize Moon. Wicked Courage, First Prize Moon.
Wicked Courage has been an amazing horse, you know. We ran him in last year up here in the trials, but we had some little bit problems on it. He had a little bit problems on the shins. And he ran good in the trials, but we didn't get the chance to qualify in any of the futurities. We took it to Oklahoma, and he ran the trials for the Black Goals out there, and then he was just better in the sheen, so I think we really got a chance to do something with it.
One thing I don't understand, why don't they make westerns these days?
They replaced them with reality shows.
Reality shows suck.
Yeah, but can you imagine a reality show about horse trainers?
Well, it's up to you.
Every morning at 9, you can see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245. Kind of broad in the shoulders, narrow at the hips, so everybody thought you didn't give no lip to Big John.
The criminals are on the run. No use in hiding in the fog. I'll hunt you down 'cause I'm the dog. I'm the dog, the big bad dog, the bounty hunter.
Man, that would be bad.